What's going on, everybody? Jon Impemba here with James Garandi. Welcome into the Fantasy Star NBA DFS Playbook Preview Show. It is a Friday. Finally, we got a main slate here of 6 games. James, you're going to be on the playbook, sir. How are we doing this evening?
We've had better nights. You know?
Yeah. Listen, I feel like it's good to start off the show sometimes just talking about how do we say this? Like, we were wrong on something.
Taking stance about take. It's about taking stances. Yeah, and
yeah, we were pretty. We gave the correct information in terms of the information we had available when it came to Nickeil Alexander-Walker. On FanDuel, he was a 50+% play. On DraftKings, he was a 20+% play, depending on your contest there. So, on FanDuel, definitely the chalk. On DraftKings, not so much, since there were plenty of guys up over 30-40% on the evening. We looked at the numbers. Nickeil Alexander-Walker without Anthony Edwards on the floor had a 12% usage rate, 0.6 fantasy points per minute. Those are the numbers we're looking at. You look at his historical numbers, never really that great either. And then tonight he just hit every shot. Made every shot. He had 6+ blocks and steals. Sometimes you just get it wrong, right? I don't think I read the information incorrectly. It just he outperformed what he has done there in the past, and for that, you and I both faded him. Didn't work out, obviously, in our favor. We recommended not playing him in certain scenarios. I know some people asked about him. Like you said, we took the stand against it. Did not work out on this evening. There have been plenty of times where we've taken stands with players that have worked out. So Towns, Wemby, those guys played. Trae Young was in the playbook core plays section. You mentioned on the live stream you really liked Shai Gilgeous-Alexander on this, or Tyrese Halliburton on this slate. I liked SGA. A lot of great plays happened, but we sat there and we said at $4,900, we didn't feel like there was a real ceiling for NEW, and he 10x. So those are the ebb and flows of the season. We got it wrong this time. Hopefully, we can improve upon that success moving forward.
Yeah, I think it's important, one, to talk about the context of it, because you were right. Like, sometimes numbers, we have the numbers and players just outperform that because they're in the NBA and
Jeremy Sohan had 33, 6, and 8 today. Right?
Yeah, that's like, you can follow the numbers sometimes, and more often than not, I think that's the correct way to do it. But like the NAW stuff, sometimes you take a stance against someone who's chalk. On the flip side, like Kyle Anderson stunk, right?
So Naz Reid stunk. Both those guys were 40% on DraftKings. Again, and you know what? The disparity, obviously, again, on DraftKings and FanDuel. Now, pricing-wise, NEW was only slightly cheaper on FanDuel, but the rostership there, because you play 2 small forwards, 2 shooting guards, you had the need to fill those positions, unlike you have on DraftKings per se. So more of the field got to NAW in this situation. Plus, again, being a little bit cheaper on a site where you have more money to spend as well, I think helped get the rostership there. So we got it wrong this time, or I got it wrong this time with the NAW call. Playbook had a lot of big plays in it. Hopefully, you guys still were able to build some successful lineups here. We got the late game still going on as we're recording this tonight. But like you said, we turned the page. We got 6 games on this Friday slate. You're on the playbook here. We'll have our Listener League contest out for everybody as well to join for Friday, and hopefully we can head into the weekend with some winners.
Yeah, it's a interesting slate too. Washington, Orlando running it back. We have some injury news there. I guess there was an ankle with Paolo, which is unfortunate. I must have missed that, but he never returned to that game. We have the Philly-Boston run it back, but Embiid is questionable to play. There is a total in that game, 223, and there is a spread at 6.5. If it's only 6.5, I assume that's Vegas also assuming that Embiid's going to play, because if Embiid is not in that game, they're much bigger than a 6.5 point favorite at home. But then we have, Memphis, Dallas, 228 total. Dallas is a 10-point home favorite. We have some big favorites. And San Antonio road dogs after playing on Thursday and losing in a 270-point game. They are 12-point dogs in New Orleans. New Orleans, by the way, getting Trey Murphy back. He sent out a tweet that looked that video where it's like, "Hey, I'm Trey, and I'm playing basketball today." There's like a viral video, and Trey Murphy put that on his Twitter to break the news ahead of Woj and Shams. But full strength Pelicans team, and we just got word that Victor Wembanyama might not play in this. So there is a lot of uncertainty, I think, around this slate. We saw Devin Booker turn his ankle, leave, come back a couple times his last time out. So it's going to be an interesting slate, John. A fun 6-gamer to end the work week. How many teams on a back-to-back here? Knicks, Spurs? Knicks, Spurs.
Yeah.
Back-to-back. So we have 2 teams on a back-to-back. Some really good matchups, some really not so fun ones, but we will, we'll get it done here and have a bounce back day here on at least for you and I. I know, like you said, the playbook had some fire plays. So I know that the FA Nation did well on Thursday, but me and you are going to have a nice bounce back here on Friday.
Yep, 100%. Let's kick it off. Point guard spot. Luka's 11-4. Maybe Booker. We'll see. 10K. Tyrese Maxey, 94. How are you approaching these top 3 guys here?
I mean, Luka's always in play. 11-4, the price is coming down despite going for 71. He's now gone for 56 or more fantasy points, which is what you need at this price. He's done this in 4 of 5 games with the ceiling of 71, falling an assist and a rebound shy of a triple-double. This is a great spot against Memphis. Memphis is 10-point dogs. I'm interested to see if they go back to that same starting lineup. I have no reason to think they wouldn't. The Derrick Rose, David Roddy starting lineup, they looked really good. Now, granted, that came against Utah, but if that is the starting lineup, I do think Memphis could be a little more competitive considering, Dallas has been a pretty fast-paced team. They're 7th in pace, but they've been a bad defensive team. So, 24th in defense. So
right.
It's a 10-point spread, but I'd definitely be down to get to Luka because I think that this game could stay competitive. Booker, of course you can play him. It's Denver, slow-paced environment. He said he wasn't sure if he'd play when they asked him. He also had some really, really good quotes about the in-season tournament. So, if you want to see some contrarian thoughts on how the game is being approached. I loved what I heard from Devin Booker, but he is very questionable here. Maxey definitely can get there if there's no Embiid. Absolutely no peripheral stats was kind of absurd.
33.
He didn't do anything that we didn't expect him to do offensively. He just didn't do anything else, like nothing, 0. Hard to believe a guy who has 7 assists and 5 rebounds per game wouldn't do that again, especially if there's no Embiid. But, if you want to get there, fine. And you can always get to Kyrie as a pivot off of Luka. We're not getting the ceiling. I mean, we got 55, 58 recently. You can always pivot to Kyrie if you want off of Luka.
Especially against Memphis. I mean, it's such a bad defensive team there.
Yep.
Jalen Brunson had a ceiling game. Do you think he can repeat that performance on a back-to-back against Toronto?
He's had a bunch of ceiling games. So, I'm not saying I'm not playing Jalen Brunson. I'm also not fully in the Jalen Brunson pot here, 8,400. He's in the player pool.
Yeah, in the player pool. He went for tonight a 42, 6, and 8 for Jalen Brunson there against Charlotte, or Detroit rather. Such a bad. The winless Detroit Pistons in the month of November. They did not win a game.
It just doesn't make sense.
McCollum played 28 in his return. Gets the San Antonio matchup here. Looked good in that return. 24-5, 1 and 2 for him there. Jamal Murray, $7,500. Cole Anthony is up to 7K now. Another monster Cole Anthony performance here. And as you mentioned, These teams running it right back with one another.
If I were to tell you of the 3 7K point guards I would most want to play Cole Anthony, what would you say?
I would say, given the recent production, that makes a lot of sense.
Okay, because that's how I feel. I think the Pelicans are going to be really hard to get to on a lot of nights, especially with like just full strength team. I mean, we just saw Zion go 13 for 13 the other day, or 11 for 12, whatever it was from the floor. They're getting Murphy back. They have Herb. They have Ingram. They have Hawkins. Like they have a very deep team. 79 for McCollum is, I think, a little too steep for me. Same for Murray. He's even questionable for this game with an ankle sprain.
Mm-hmm.
So he came back from a hamstring injury and sprained his ankle. So doesn't seem too great.
Right.
So I'd just play Cole Anthony in a game where he plays 30 minutes if it's more competitive. And then we're getting back-to-back 50 burgers in that case.
Agreed.
So I think Cole Anthony's the play there.
Derek White had a good game against Philly earlier this season, 27, 3, and 5. But as you always say, hard to know which player on Boston's going to be the guy. No Chris Porzingis again for this one. If Joel Embiid's out there, he'll have to deal with Al Horford. But still, Celtics guards priced right next to each other, $6,900 and $6,700. Any interest there?
Both in tournaments are in play.
Okay. Moving our way down the list, where's your next guard?
Dennis Schroeder's been pretty good in back-to-back games, 36 fantasy points in each, 42, 23, 28, 36, 36. The minutes are consistent. If you want to get to Schroeder, it's okay. It's not the best spot. D'Anthony Melton is always the first guy I pivot to, like when Embiid's out. This has been the case for the last few years. He has such a good fantasy point per minute guy when it comes to like Embiid being off the floor. He is someone who can do a little bit of everything, and we saw that on full display here. 3 steals and 1 block. This is why you and I were like always screaming, like, why isn't Memphis giving this guy like 30 minutes a night? Because he's so good everywhere. Melton would be firmly in play if there's no Embiid. Jalen Suggs is a good basketball player. 35 fantasy points in 28 minutes. If you want to get there, it's fine. I mean, Sohan?
Not on a not the second leg of a back-to-back after playing 36 minutes. That's probably a no for me.
Yeah, and a 12-point spread, not the best spot. Would you play a 6K Reggie if Murray's out?
Only if Joker's out, probably.
No, Joker's not even on the Joker's not even on the
I'm saying report. Like unless Joker's out, I don't find
just blanket statement. Just blanket statement.
Just a blanket statement. No, unless Joker's out. Derrick Rose was your guy. 27 minutes came through. He's now up $4,900 here, but I don't know. We get some vintage Derrick Rose possibly.
I'm just pissed at myself because I told you the scenario of Derrick Rose getting more minutes. He lost out 2 games in a row to blow a run. It's like there was a clear opportunity for him to play more. Not only did he play more, he started and then was 1 assist shy of a double-double. Like he's still good he still gets to the rim.
Yeah.
He's still good in glimpses. Like he still can play basketball at a high level. It's just about like staying healthy, and it's just about durability overall. And we've seen the minutes now. He's been over a fantasy point per minute easy over the last 3 games with this extended run. There's literally zero reason to think he's not playing this 28 minutes again. And who's to say they had to put him back in that game? I don't know if you saw how that game played out. Utah went on this like crazy end of game run to like make it 10, and Memphis was like, okay, I guess we have to put the starters back in for the final. Like there's a realistic scenario Derrick Rose approaches 30 minutes in a competitive setting. So 4,900, he's going to be very popular. I'm just going to put that out there. He's going to be super popular because he has a ceiling.
And he's an under 5K play.
Yeah, and
if Booker's out, Jordan Goodwin probably very popular, but even then, 23 minutes again the other day came through.
Yep, directly involved with Devin Booker leaving the floor, right? They needed a point guard. They played Jordan Goodwin, and the price has gone down. So I am fully into Jordan Goodwin if Devin Booker is out.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one for sure. Let's go on over to the shooting guard position here. Guys we've mentioned, obviously Booker Irving, you have the dual position eligibility. Desmond Bane, though, coming off of a ceiling 45 fantasy point outing against Utah. Tougher spot against Dallas, but as we've talked about, Dallas playing much quicker than they've ever played in their past history here. So you have him there. You have Ingram price dump, which makes sense. Everybody's back.
Yep.
They were quick with it, though.
Right.
Up over 9K, and then boom, right down to 83. I don't know if we're getting there quite yet with everybody back. Still feels a little bit expensive for me. Jaylen Brown, 82. Jordan Poole's up to 71. He bounced back a little bit in that last game. Still only 26 minutes because of these blowouts here. I'm not really feeling the top end of this shooting guard tier here.
No, I mean, if we don't even, I mean, Devin Vassell, probably like the first name that really catches my eye, but like he's going to not start again for one reason or another. No Devin Booker, Eric Gordon would be okay. 5,900 doesn't feel like a great price point, but it is an option. I don't dislike OG under 6K. Quickly in tournaments, Grayson Allen, 5,100, 36 minutes. Grayson Allen just always playing big minutes.
Yeah, and if guys are out,
yeah,
that's where he gets those minutes. I mean, Eric Gordon's sort of the same way. If guys are out, Eric Gordon gets minutes. Murphy's not going to play a lot in this game, right?
No, but he's just he's a 40% 3-point shooter. He's just an elite floor spacer for them. So I think I bet you if I was live betting something, the Pelicans, whatever the Pelicans win total, over.
Okay.
Over. I think this is going to be a really
now
good
that
team
everybody's all healthy,
dude. The spacing that Zion's going to have on this team with McCollum, with Trey Murphy, with Matt. Oh my God, he's never going to play with anybody like this. Buying into the system, he better buy into the system because Zion's been great. But I love not playing Trey Murphy at 5K. Just stating that this is a great addition for this team for the stretch run.
I'm highlighting Champagne here because they Champagne, whatever it is here. Yeah. Because they bumped this price up to $4,900.
That's been the DraftKings MO, right? The back-to-backs.
On the back-to-backs, they just bump up the bench guys because now Wemby is questionable to play. We don't know if Keldon or Vassell, who've missed time recently, will play here. If he's starting and those guys are out at $4,900 against the Pelicans, do you give them any looks?
Yeah, and what did we see from Champagne earlier in the year? He in that 3K start. Do you remember that 3K start where he did nothing all game? Then they put him back in for the blowout run, and he hit like a bunch of shots. He had a bunch of steals and blocks and stuff. So like that makes you feel pretty confident that if this game were to blow out, you'd be like, oh, okay, well, it's a blowout, but Champagne can get back on the floor. Well, that's great. So, I think that feels pretty good if you roster him. Now he's not 3K like he was in that scenario, but still have to feel pretty good about that.
Anybody else down here shooting guard for you?
Gary Harris, 20 minutes. Plays that. Christian Brown, no.
18 minutes, and he missed all of his shots.
Justin Holiday, 26 fantasy points in 27 minutes.
Aaron Gordon was out again. I guess we need to see if Gordon plays or not here.
Yeah, Aaron Gordon, I think, is still questionable. He is. He's questionable, and the Jamal Murray status, too. So I could be talked into Justin Holiday. He does have just such a low floor. They don't need to go there, but it is worth mentioning.
Sure. Small forward, JT against Philly here. Again, we thought they needed to win by 40. They did, but it wasn't him that did the damage. It was the entire team spread across all five. All had even games here. He actually, I think he had like the least fantasy points when it came to the group. Like Holiday had 38, Horford went for 40. I think Brown went for 40.
Brown went for 50.
Brown went for 50, right?
Brown went for 50.
Disappointing. He did go for 52 against Philly earlier this year. Take that for whatever you want to think about with Scotty Barnes, Franz ceiling game. I'll never get it, man. I just won't. But
Yeah.
over 40 now in 3 of the last 4. If I play him, know that he won't. But he's capable. It's in the bag. If he's gonna shoot like this. It's in his bag for sure.
And it's Washington. The kicker is it's Washington again. I think the Tatum thing is hard to get to. Like when you start prioritizing spend ups for me, like you have Jokic, Luka, possibly Embiid, Durant, possibly without Booker, right? So you just think like Tatum. I don't know who Tatum is above on that list. Barnes, he's been fine, but this is not a great matchup for him. Franz, I'm with you. I'm totally with you. I never can figure out Franz Wagner, but
when I play him, he hits 25 fantasy points, no matter what. Like that's just what happens.
Like we were talking about it earlier in the year, how like consistent he was and how safe he was because he was mid 6Ks. Like now he's approaching 8K and he's still paying it off. And obviously, like 3 of the last 4, it's been
30 actual. And again, it should be said, I guess, like Charlotte and Washington are terrible defensive teams. Denver's not a good defensive team. Look at all these home games they've been playing too. Like, what is this? They just living in Orlando now? Like 7 straight home game, 6 straight home games.
I mean,
for them.
Yeah,
that's useful. That must be nice.
They've had a nice had some home cooking there, John.
Right? Michael Porter here snapped 30, 10, and 5, back-to-back double-digit rebound games for him. If Aaron Gordon's out, I don't mind running that back with Porter here.
Yeah, I said it to you. Michael Porter is officially attached to Jokic. I will always I'm interested if Jokic is in, I'm not if Jokic is out. And Aaron Gordon being out, I think also, there might be Aaron Gordon out and Jamal Murray. So it could just be the Jokic and Michael Porter show.
Agreed. What's Sandy do? 25 minutes, kind of back
off the bench, by the way.
Bench. Yeah, they didn't start him there. RJ 65. Herbie's probably done now. Denny 64. Oh, is Oubre back in this game or no?
He is. He's probably
no. Could return as soon as Wednesday.
Oh, I thought they said he was I swore they had an update earlier.
So he was a full practice earlier today.
Oh, okay.
So that's what it was. Okay, so he could be back as early as next week. Josh Hart with a little price bump here. I don't know if that's any foreshadowing or, as we said, on second legs of back-to-backs, they just bumped the bench guys.
Yeah, somebody just bumped.
DraftKings Algo is now officially on a back-to-back. All the bench guys go up $500.
Love that. I like that.
I don't know. I got nothing else down here.
Where is our boy? Is he power forward only? He is. So looking at the way the Memphis rotation was insane. Zaire Williams played 25 minutes off the bench. He looked really good during his time off the bench. He looked like the guy that started the year really good. And we were
the rebounds were crazy earlier in the year. So whenever he seemingly gets minutes, he's out there boarding. So
I don't know if that's sustainable, but no Smart, no Kennard, obviously.
Yep.
I don't think
I want to take a shot on that though.
We don't have to because we're gonna probably just play Roddy at power forward. Yeah. Anyways. Okay. So
KVD didn't do anything. All right, let's go on over to power forward then. Durant's 99. If there's no Booker against Durant, that'd be pretty cool. Wemby probably, I assume, just doesn't play. All right,
seems
questionable all day. Now on a back-to-back, and Pop's already telling you
yeah,
we'll see.
Pop is. This is a nightmare. Spurs on back-to-backs are a nightmare.
Kuzma 85. Not a great game for him, but he is coming off a 61 amazing point game. There was a tweet out earlier today that said Kyle Kuzma and Jordan Poole are the worst duo tandem in the NBA. They're negative net 34 on the season. They've had 31 shots blocked. There's a crazy combo of just bad.
Who do you think?
Mostly Jordan Poole.
I was gonna say, why do you think that duo is the worst? Is it? I bet you if you look at the top 10 list, it's probably Jordan Poole plus in a lot of.
Yeah, that's probably fair. Siakam's still 81. That still feels like a good price tag for him.
Siakam 81 against the Knicks or Triple J 8K against Dallas coming off ceiling game?
I don't know. I guess I still feel like Siakam, but I guess it's a better pace game for Jackson here.
I really like, dude. This is going to be really bad for me because I've never liked a team in a 10-point spread more than I like Memphis on this thing.
I mean, I'm sure Toronto is just as bad of a spread in that game. So,
well, the total in that game is 216.
Yeah,
but
is the spread like 7?
No, so this is interesting. Toronto.
Don't tell me they're a favorite in this game.
2-point home favorites. 2-point home favorites. Just gonna throw that out there.
Doesn't really make much sense to me.
I mean, Toronto's been okay. Like if we take a look at the NBA standings here, Toronto is 9-10. They are 6-4 at home, and the Knicks are 11-7, 5-4 on the road. Yeah, I guess that doesn't make much sense. Okay, well, we can't. There's no way to speculate who's sitting. Zero. There's zero. But
timestamp this moment because tomorrow, if someone gets ruled out, we're gonna go back and just pull this conversation.
We're gonna say,
this doesn't look right. Doesn't feel correct to have them be a 2-point home favorite here. But okay, if you say so.
Like it does. It is a little weird. Knicks on a back-to-back, sure, but Knicks are 29th in pace. They are also 4th in defense, and they are 4 games
better,
3 games better in the standings, which is 3 games. It's not like a massive, but like the Raptors
Knicks are also 7-3 in their last 10, and Toronto's just 5-5.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a little weird. It's a little weird. I'm right there with
Knicks
you.
Knicks are 9-4 in the conference. Toronto's 5-9.
Have we had all right, so the Knicks had back-to-backs on the 18th, 17th, and the 12th and the 13th. I am unsure.
I don't think Randall's missed any games.
I don't think so either. I don't remember anybody missing.
Like RJ was hurt for a while.
Yeah, the migraine. The migraine.
Did Brunson miss a game? 17, 18.
So 12. Second leg of a back-to-back. So here was the starters. Quentin Grimes was out. So second leg of a back-to-back, normal starting 5, just sans Quentin Grimes.
Brunson's played 39 minutes in each of the second legs of those back-to-back, the most recent back-to-backs. So
Tom Thibodeau, ladies and gentlemen.
He does not care.
The Knicks second back-to-back.
No, Brunson and
Josh
Randall
Hart started. Okay, so there was one game that RJ, but this was
RJ's been sick. I don't know. None of it indicates that someone's not sitting. I'm just saying that line to me doesn't make much sense. I would probably consider. My only guess is because it's the second night of a back-to-back on the road for the Knicks here.
Sure.
Now they weren't in Charlotte tonight though. They were in New York, right?
They were in New York.
Yeah, yes. So easy. I mean, New York to Toronto is an hour flight.
Yeah.
I don't know. Doesn't seem. I would be inclined to probably bet the Knicks if that's the case, but okay, if you say so. All right. I don't know. I know nothing. I told you not to play NAW. I really have no idea what I'm talking about.
Stop with that.
All right, more power forwards here. Where are you looking in the mid tier?
I mean, I do love Triple J. I'm just gonna say that. I would lean the Triple J side over Siakam. Okay. Not to say I wouldn't get to Siakam. That's just my preference. I told you that game is just calling my name. Denny 64. Like I know he went for 39 and 30 the last 2 games. I just hate the minutes for Denny. Also, I skipped over Paolo. 84. I guess Paolo would be back in play. He's probable to play. Can't go to Marshall. No one else in the mid tier necessarily. I guess Horford. I really don't want to pay $6,200 for Al Horford. against potentially
He went
Embiid,
for
but
40 against Philly last time out.
he did, and he had 5 blocks in a game that Embiid played. And he's now gone for 35 and
Old man
46.
Horford got these, rejuve legs. They haven't
It's
played
just
since they haven't played in 4 days.
My only worry is it's probably not even a worry. If you want to play him 62, play him at 62. That's fine.
Okay. Roddy's at the 47, as you mentioned.
Yeah, I'm gonna popcorn machine the why we only got 25 minutes, and I'm wondering if it had anything to do with the game kind of being out of hand. I don't love that he only played 25 minutes, but that's something. He started over Santee. They basically split the small forward. Yeah. So,
any other power forwards here?
Bates Diop didn't play. What did I saw you click? The other guy, Josh Okogie. What was Okogie's minutes last
23, game? I think it was. Wasn't a lot.
So we were asked about Derek Jones the other day, John.
No, he popped.
He played 34 minutes after playing 20, 19, 19, 19.
Well, this was the Grant Williams chalk night that didn't actually work. So.
This is the They also started Josh Green, and I will say I have a suspicion that when we wake up and we see the first ownership run, that Josh Green and or Derek Jones are going to have some ownership coming their way. Because Josh Green, 39, small forward, power forward, started and played 30 minutes. And Derek Jones also played 30 minutes off the bench. So if Josh Green were to start again, like I know it's a low floor, but 3,900, I'd consider it, just given what the value is so far.
Yeah, that's fine by me. Anybody else here, power forward?
Do we get Batum news actually? He's probable.
Okay. What would you if he were give him a look?
I was more so thinking if he was out, I would look at like Bob Cove.
Sure.
They started Marcus Morris the other day.
Yeah, Marcus Morris started for Embiid though, which is always hilarious. But
yeah, that is super funny because they played him over Paul Reed, and then they. But yeah, let's just go to second.
Yeah, I was gonna say we have the Joker.
Let's just go to Joker.
We have the Joker here at 12-4.
It's just whatever. Look at this guy, dude. His price is going down. They might be without Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon again, and his price is going down
against a Phoenix team that might be without Devin Booker. So like, that feels like a pretty good spot to do.
Yeah.
If JoJo is active, would
yeah. Yeah.
I mean, even with with Al Horford defending him, are you worried about the Embiid stopper? 54 and 42 is not. It's.
No, I know. I mean, look, in this instance, I prefer Jokic. I have no problem.
I agree with you. Can't really. I mean, I guess maybe Zach Collins if Wemby sits.
Yeah,
I don't know, but if Spurs on a back-to-back, we could get Bassey for 20 minutes. I don't know, like.
True, or Mamu, dude. It's pop. It's like a please stay away. Nurk, if no Booker, Nurk had the ceiling game that we've been waiting for.
30 he's actually 3 straight games.
Kind of been good. Other than that random Golden State 17-minute foul trouble game, he's been pretty good.
And Mitch Roth price bump here, the 57. What don't they know? What aren't they telling us?
Yeah.
Randall's not playing, isn't he? He's sitting. Randall's sitting in this game. Randall loses his passport, can't get into Toronto. We just don't know it yet.
Can't loses his passport.
Yeah, get into Toronto. Gafford, 26 minutes. Not his greatest performance in the world there. Goga, 24 minutes. Again, same deal. Can play either or if you want. Bismack Biyombo, rather. Another 30 minutes for him. Does not shoot.
Does not shoot.
Fantasy points there. Mo Wagner, 18. Precious is up to 5K now for what?
No idea.
33 and 18 minutes against Phoenix. Oh man, not a lot of good value at the center spot. Lively played 27. Maybe you get there.
Yeah, I think Lively is not nice. Lively's not the worst value. If there's no Embiid, I know Paul Reed was like the third center, but he ended up playing 27
That's
minutes.
what happened last time we talked. Remember, they didn't start him. They started Marcus Morris, then he played 34 minutes. So
yes, I would have no problem. So do you see Charles Bassey's price?
$4,600
For no, it's like DraftKings has clearly baked something into their algorithm on back-to-backs that prices are just hiked up because
worried about guys sitting and they don't want 3K players available.
Dude, we had a little stretch like last week where he wasn't even the backup center.
Right.
You might play this might be a scenario where you could play Charles Bassey and Mamu's the backup center.
What do you think's going on with John Isaac here? I know it says ankle, but they've sat him out the last couple of games. Is that just simply that they're just being
and like John Isaac, like you're not coming back against Washington during this home stretch. Like, keep him out. Keep him off the floor. They're doing fine in the front court. Just keep him off.
Murder Cornette playing backup center there. Anything else for you at center?
Nah, there's no Andre Drummond walking through that door here.
All right, so we got Joker. Where else do we go? What's the next move here?
Derrick Rose.
Derrick Rose, 5,500 a play. Let's see.
Easily the chalkiest. Going through that whole slate, easily the chalkiest play we see tomorrow.
Gordon's 59 now.
I know. I'd rather play like Grayson Allen or Jordan Goodwin. We could play another guard.
I mean, he's playing no matter what, so like that's fine.
Devin Booker has already come out and said like definitely a little questionable for tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Cole Anthony, can we just fill our guard spots up here? Yeah. 5250, small forward.
Grayson,
that works. Power forward. 52. Roddy, 4,700.
Yeah.
5550 for. Let's see. Do we have any other value? What did Braun do?
It's I would say it's probably
Batum. I'll go Batum at 41.
I'd rather it's either Batum or probably Josh Green if Josh Green started 3,900. I know they're both like maybe the same low floor play, but
let's see. Is there a value util that we want to check out here then? Let's see. I mean, Reed is 47, which would be a play, obviously. What did Joe Ingles do? Joe Ingles played 20 minutes. Do you have Ingles any looks?
I mean, he's in the same mix as the other guys, super low floor.
Yeah, there's not like a ton of great value.
No, that's why I think we're going to see Derrick Rose so extremely popular.
Go lively.
Live is okay. I will say this.
Okay.
Vince Williams, John, he did not close the games, but he played 19 minutes for the Grizzlies here. He was the second guy off the bench for the Grizzlies.
Okay.
Played in the first quarter. He played the final 4 minutes and then played the first almost 7. He played like 11 first half minutes. Was the second guy off the bench again in the second half. Never came back in the game to close, but 20 minutes, 3,300.
Sure.
I don't know.
Let's see.
Throwing it out there.
That's a 37. If we go this. Murder Cornette, Landry. Landry with a nice floor game for everybody there. A game with 250 points.
Shocker.
Boucher doesn't play anymore. Gallinari 11. All right, we can run your. Noel did play 18 minutes. He missed every shot. All right, that works. We can do that. Sure. Example lineup for everybody. This will all change by the time we go live at 5 o'clock. Anyways, Derrick Rose, Cole Anthony, Grayson Allen, David Roddy, Nikola Jokic, Jordan Goodwin, Michael Porter Jr., and let's see, Vince Williams. Is this what we're talking about?
Yep.
Vince Williams, $400 left. Get in the Discord. Follow us on Twitter, James. Look for the listener league for everybody there as well. We'll have that for Friday. Good luck with your roster build, and we will catch you guys later.